Last month, after Boris Johnson was successfully deposed by dark anti-democratic forces which had colluded for 3 years to bring down a Prime Minister elected in a landslide, I tweeted my outrage, writing, "The successful witch hunt against Boris Johnson has been absolutely appalling. Harriet Harman ran an anti-democratic kangaroo court, a terrible day for the Conservative Party and British democracy." Standard tweet, really. You know I feel that way. I'm only sharing it with you now because the Tory Environment Minister, Zac Goldsmith, agreed. And he quote-tweeted me, adding the words, "Exactly this. There was only ever going to be one outcome and the evidence was totally irrelevant to it." Now, I think that is a completely reasonable opinion for a Conservative peer like him to hold. It also happens to be entirely true. But truth no longer matters at Westminster, which has been swept up by communist-style forces masquerading as a standards body. So that simple retweet of my journalistic analysis of the farce saw Lord Goldsmith named and shamed in the Privileges Committee report. He was named alongside the so-called Johnson 7, who also include Jacob Rees-Mogg, Andrea Jenkins, Nadine Dorries and Priti Patel. Because Rishi Sunak's government is going along with this ludicrous purge, Number 10 demanded Goldsmith apologise, proving free speech is no longer at the heart of parliamentary democracy or this government, especially when it relates to the premiership of Boris Johnson. Instead, Goldsmith quit in what was an eviscerating takedown of Sunak as Prime Minister. Now, today, a lie has been exposed far more egregious than anything from the Partygate witch hunt, but the MSM has reacted with a pathetic shrug of the shoulders. Labour lovey Sue Gray, who ran that stitch-up into Boris, you'll remember, broke civil service rules with her secret meeting or conversation last October with slippery Starmer about becoming his chief of staff, even though she didn't leave her post until the news was revealed in March, something the party has been lying about for months.
Did you first approach Sue Gray to be your chief of staff?
Nick, I know her personally. I met her when I was Director of Public Prosecution.
Can I ask when you approached Sue?
Look,
if I may call her Sue?
I've been looking for a chief of staff for a number of weeks now.
I'm confident that Sue Gray is a woman of immense integrity and she will set all of this out.
She's not breached confidences. There's no reason to expect she'll do so now.
I'm confident that Sue Gray hasn't broken any rules.
If it's not improper, why won't you say, "It was a month ago, Nick"?
It was, I've been looking for some time and there's nothing improper in the slightest.
It was improper, slippery Starmer. She did break the rules, robotic Reeves. Of course, the days and days on end of hysterical coverage on the British bashing corporation, woke ITV and Sly News will never materialise. In fact, you're not going to believe this. I've been looking all day. The Bias Bee didn't put the story on the front page of its website, and then tonight, on its 6 o'clock news bulletin, dedicated just 22 seconds to the scandal, 26 minutes into its bulletin, making it, according to the Beeb, the 9th most important story of the day. Such a despicable breach will never find its way onto the front page of The Guardian or the Daily Mirror either, because all of these dark forces are colluding with each other, just as Priti Patel warned was the case. It's a witch hunt. It is a witch hunt against the former Prime Minister Boris Johnson by the Privileges Committee led by Harriet Harman to try and finish his political career. What do you make of it, and how has it been allowed to happen?
The issues around Keir Starmer, Sue Gray, all these types of things, they're not happening in isolation. The lack of transparency, the lack of accountability, I think there is a culture of collusion, quite frankly.
The problem is that the blob is now in control of Westminster and democracy itself is being eroded by the day. So I'm going to continue to call out this mess.